What's up everybody, Sunkist here, and in today's video, we're going to be covering the Railway. This weapon used to be the absolute king of DPS in Fallout 76, but it's been taken down a few pegs. It is still very good though, and it's a ton of fun to use, so I highly recommend you give it a try. I'd like to know down in the comments, was this your favorite weapon to be meta? Or what is your favorite weapon to become meta? I appreciate you watching, hit the like button to subscribe, and I'll catch you at the end. Oh, 10,000 damage. That's not bad. 511, 794. Almost 2100 damage on that crit there. Yeah. The thing about the Railway is sometimes you can get 2 crits out of a shot because it'll the travel time of the bullet. So we like a two or three shot for most of these enemies here. Looks like we hit 2300 damage and we had some adrenaline built up. So overall, not too bad on the super mutants. All right, we got Polite Soup going now too. And we got Cycle Buff going too. So we'll be doing a little bit more damage than before. Overall, not really having too many problems with any of the Mirelurks, kind of as to be expected, to be fair. We'll see how we do against the Mirelurk Queen though here. See if we can get any stealth hits in at all. Pretty good. And also, like, one thing about the Railway, it's pretty good at crippling targets pretty fast. All right, let's see how we do against some Scorch and the Scorch Beast here. I imagine we won't have too many problems, but we'll see. Come back here, Scorch Beast. So, not the craziest time to take it down, but getting the job done pretty decent. Yeah, all that reload speed stuff that I have on is real nice. So the damage numbers, given the rate of fire, is not too bad at all, to be honest. For the most part, did a pretty good job taking down the Scorch Beasts. I am on a public server, so it is a little bit laggier than normal. And also, you know, you got the projectile travel time for the spike, so there is that little bit of delay there too for that. But overall, pretty good. All right, we are going to test how we can do against the EN06 here. One thing to note, I did swap a few perk cards out, and I would recommend doing this when you're fighting the EN06 Guardian. So I got rid of Awareness and the 1 rank of Concentrated Fire that I had, so I could run Center Masochist. That'll give us a little bit of extra damage against the torso after we destroy the shield.
Alert. Unauthorized personnel detected.
So we can get into our spot here. Then get ready to spam some stim packs to withstand the Guardian's attacks. Overall, it shouldn't be too much of a problem to get out here. Even though we got those trouble through, remember? Just spamming stim packs every couple seconds here. Oh, 10,000 damage. That's not bad. Minute 22, not bad. I think I did lose my stealth bonus at some point, but I was hitting like 10k damage there, so not bad. All right, taking a look at our weapon here, we're going with a quad weapon speed, less AP cost pinpointers Railway. And the modifications we have on that are the automatic piston receiver, the long barrel, the recoil compensating stock, and the standard sights with no muzzle. So the reason we don't have the reflex sight on there is because it doesn't affect AP cost anymore, and I personally just think it makes the first person view look really bulky, so I opted to take the reflex sight off. You could run it if you would like. I personally don't. And then I got the irradiated paint, and I know some of you might ask how I got that. It was a previous season reward on the season pass. It was from the Glow of the Ghoul season. So not sure if they'll bring that back in the future. Hopefully they do for people that didn't have a chance to get it, because it is a very cool paint in my opinion. Moving on to our armor. I have a full set of Unyielding, +2 agility, food drink chem weight reduction, and Rangers. If I had limit breaking pieces, I would put that as the 4-star. I just don't have that, so I have a full set of limit breaking right now. Ticket service is also a good option if you're not running civil engineering armor. The power armor that we're going to use for fighting the Guardian, it's going to be a full set of troubleshooters with 1 piece of chameleon so we can get our stealth when we're fighting it. And the other stars are going to be, let me just put this down actually so you can see. +2 luck, food drink chem weight reduction, and reflective. And the reason why we have +2 luck on there, it's kind of a twofold thing. One of them is that it will increase our chance to trigger ricochet while we're tanking damage from the EN06 Guardian, since that's based on luck. And also it will help us with our crit fail meter once we actually start shooting the EN06 Guardian's torso. But the mods on that, the most important one is the torso piece, and I have emergency protocols since we are running a bloodied human build. Here's a look at the perk allocation, screenshot if you'd like. Go up to the legendary perks right away. We have 4 special cards maxed out, and then follow through and take you one for the team. Follow through is mostly so we can get extra damage against the Guardian once we take its shield down. Taking one for the team is always just, I run this on almost every one of my builds. It's such a good, just straight damage buff. But in strength, we have a few of the bullet storm, the new bullet storm mechanic cards. So we got lock and load, bullet storm, scatter shot. This is so we can spread our crippled limbs to, other stuff than what we're shooting at. Armskeeper, just because I like to carry weapons. Blocker, it's nice to have a little bit of melee damage reduction as a bloodied character. Bandolier, because railway spikes are very heavy and easy target, so we can do extra damage to crippled targets. And the railway is pretty good at crippling stuff, to be honest. Over in perception, we have number cruncher, tormentor, tank killer, ground pounder, fast fighter, center masochist. And when I'm not fighting the Guardian, I will take off center masochist and I put on awareness and 1 rank of concentrated fire. So again, if I'm fighting the Guardian, I'll take those 2 perks off and then I'll put on center masochist instead. But for endurance, we have life giver, ironclad, radical, starch jeans, thirst quencher, vaccinated, and fireproof. Most of it is for helping us be a little bit tankier as a bloodied build. Thirst quencher and vaccinated are to help us keep our AP as high as we can get it, and radical is for a little bit of extra carry weight. Strange numbers is going to buff our mutations, which I'll go over in just a moment here. Third rage and power user. Power user is just for when we're using our power armor against the EN06 Guardian. Nerd rage, obviously we want to use that since we're a bloodied build. Over in agility, we have a bunch of the onslaught cards maxed out here, and I have 1 rank, or I have evasive here. Evasive in combination with serendipity and ricochet when you're outside of power armor as a bloodied build is just so strong. You just completely negate taking damage so frequently. So if you're running a bloodied build outside of power armor, I highly recommend running evasive, serendipity, and ricochet together. It's an awesome combo. Which brings us over to luck. We have better criticals, serendipity, ricochet, 4-leaf clover, fast freak, critical savvy, and good with salt. Back to our mutations because I forgot to show them earlier. We have adrenal reaction, bird bones, Eagle Eyes, Egghead, Healing Factor, Herbivore, Herd Mentality, Marsupial, and Speed Demon. Most important ones, honestly, is going to be Eagle Eyes for the extra crit damage. And Herd Mentality for the extra special. The other ones are optional, but I highly recommend them. And for our buffs, I don't think I have all of them active right now, but let me take a look here. We have Blight Soup for extra critical damage. Company Soup for extra perception. And then I'm also running, I don't know if it's, I don't think it's, it is active for a little bit here. I have a Guns and Bullets magazine for extra ballistic critical damage and a small gun bobblehead. It wore off, but I also normally run a star-sized Sunset Sarsaparilla, which will give us an extra 10% ballistic gun damage. All right, over to our Ghoul character. I'll be a little bit quicker with this one. We have the exact same legendary rolls just because I think this is the best way to run it. Same attachments, same paint, nothing different there. Here is the special point allocation if you'd like to take a screenshot. Special cards, same thing essentially here. Follow through, taking one for the team, and then 4 special legendaries. And I will also just kind of hover over this to see if you'd like to take a screenshot. I'll go ahead and cover some of the differences, but I won't get too in-depth here. Again, over in perception, I'm running 1 rank of concentrated fire and 1 rank of awareness. If I was fighting the Guardian, I would take both of those things off and put on Center Masochist. In endurance, we don't need to have as much tankiness cards because we're Ghoul and you have a shitload of health, so don't really need to run those tanky cards. Radiation power, we're gonna use that to get some extra damage from our glow. Same thing with Science Monster here. Over in agility, we're gonna run a bunch of the onslaught cards. And one difference here is we are running gun tricks. So this is a Ghoul specific perk card that will allow you to gain extra reload speed. So between Fast Fighter, Ground Pounder, and gun tricks, you can reload pretty quickly. I'll just show you that in a moment here. But over in Ricochet, or sorry, over in Ricochet, over in Luck, we don't need as many tankiness perks. So we're not running Serendipity. We're just running Ricochet, 4-leaf Clover, Faulty Spots for extra weak point damage, Critical Savvy, Good with Salt, rank 2, and glowing criticals and better criticals. So overall, this build will probably do more damage than the Bloodied, but this is what the Ghoul one would run. And again, just to show you the reload speed, it's pretty fast when you have all those things stacked together. On our Ghoul character, we are running a full set of Secret Service armor. This is mostly just because I don't have civil engineering armor yet. But we are running a full set of Nocturnals, +2 intelligence through hikers and limit breaking. Truth be told, the second star would probably be agility if this was railway specific, but this is what I run for getting extra intelligence and also what I run when I'm running my Enclave Plasma Flamer, so that's why +2 intelligence is on there. But the other 4 stars are going to be good, especially Nocturnal, so you can get extra agility and AP. And just one of the pieces is Chameleon, so we can activate our Nocturnal's armor. Mutations are going to be exactly the same, maybe slightly different from our human character, so you can take a peek at that quick here. But yeah, that'll do it for the Ghoul character. Thank you so much for watching to this point of the video. I really appreciate it. If you made it this far, I can only assume that you enjoyed. So if you're not already, hit the subscribe button so you can stick around for future content. Like the video to boost it to a larger audience. And hopefully we'll see you in the next one. Thanks again for watching. Really appreciate it. Have a good one.